Hello, everyone, and welcome to Living Healthy and Aging Well. My name is Ken Hageland, and we are broadcasting from the AM 950 radio station that overlooks beautiful Bryant Lake Regional Park located in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. It's another wonderful day here in the Twin Cities, and I am so grateful to be here with you today, and I hope all of you listening are doing well. We are on the air every Saturday from noon to 1 to talk about your health and your life. We cover a wide range of topics to help you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. We have another great show for you today. Joining me in a few minutes will be Harvey Pearl. He's the principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance agency. Harvey is a licensed agent in life, health insurance for all ages, accident and travel insurance in the state of Minnesota. He's also certified in 10 brands of Medicare carriers. Today we'll be talking about the importance of participating in an annual review during the Medicare open enrollment period from October 15th through December 7th for current Medicare clients. As you may know, Medicare is a complex system with a lot of moving parts and a foreign language to many. Having someone who can advocate for you to make certain that your doctors and medications are obtained from in-network providers will help keep your expenses as low as possible. You will enjoy listening to my conversation with my friend Harvey Pearl. I want to thank all of you that leave messages on our radio show phone line. We appreciate hearing from you. And we welcome your comments, questions, and topics for future shows. Also, if you are brave enough and interested in being a guest on our radio show, please call or text us at 612-999-3426. You can also contact us through our website at livinghealthyradio.com. There you can find information about upcoming guests as well as listen to our previous shows. We look forward to hearing from you. We are adding new listeners to the show each week, and not only here in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, but also throughout the country. You can find podcasts for all of our radio shows on the AM 950 radio website, and we can also be found on your favorite streaming services like iTunes and Spotify. You can also watch our broadcast live on the radio station's Facebook page at AM 950 Radio. If you have a question for us today, there's two ways to reach us. First, by calling the AM 950 radio station, and our friendly show engineer, Tom, will get your call on the air. Our phone number is 952-946-6205. Once again, 952-946-6205, or you can directly text us your questions at 612-999-3426. Now, don't worry. If you missed our contact numbers, I'll repeat them throughout the show. And also, don't wait till the show's ended, folks, to call or text us with your questions. We often receive many of the same questions after the show has ended. If you have a question, many others do as well. So please try and contact us during the show. And we look forward to answering your questions. All right. I'm excited to introduce my guest for today. It's a really timely guest because of the time of year we're in, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance agency. Welcome to the show, Harvey.
It's great to see you again, Ken.
Yes, we had you on last month, and we're going to have you on next month because this is so important. This is one of the most significant decisions people make.
It is
during the
powerful.
year.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and things are changing as you've explained to me in the past that Medicare is not a simple thing, and it's always being tweaked. I mean,
it's something new every year.
We have elected officials getting into Washington trying to figure out how they can tweak things.
Right, and they're trying to make it better.
They're doing the best they can. I mean, right? They have
Medicare today is not what it was in 1865. It has improved over the years, but it's created new challenges. And frequently our clients say to us, "How does anyone get through this without a guide, without a broker?" And you're right. It is a foreign language not taught in high schools or colleges, which it should be taught as a foreign language.
You know what? Here's the thing, too. As more and more of the adult children and even grandchildren are helping take care of our seniors, you almost need to have that as a part of just life skills in schools.
Absolutely.
if I was an administrator of a school system, I would change a few things because I'd want to have more and more life skills taught. Just say, hey, if you make a mistake here, it's very costly.
Sure.
And
Medicare can be planned and strategized, and we
yes.
are trying to get more and more of our class called Medicare Before You Get There for people in their 30s.
Yes.
Because you really can strategize and plan ahead and do it even better.
And it's important. I mean, start getting a long-term care plan when you're in your 30s. Start putting aside a little bit of money because it'll make a huge difference. And maybe we'll talk about some of the things you just mentioned to me before the show about some states making some changes in how you have to take care of yourself from a long-term care plan because Medicaid is going to not be able to cover the baby boom generation. So that's a whole nother, possibly a whole nother show.
I was going to say that may be a whole show unto itself.
Yes. Well, and going back to our elected officials, they get to Washington and they have a whole different healthcare plan when you're in Washington. They have their own, their own wonderful plan. And then everyone else, all the rest of us have a different plan.
Right. It's great to be in that club. Most of us are not in the club.
No, but I've heard they have a really good health plan.
Yes. Yes, they do.
So we should, so anyway, all right. We got just so much to talk about. We ran out of time last month and I'm sure we'll run out of time this month, but, let's talk about some of the, let's recap. We talked about many things last time. A few of the questions that came in was, are the prices changing? Are the costs for the plans changing for people that are getting the supplemental plans or gap plans? And I'm assuming with inflation going crazy,
some of the prices are significant. Some of the price changes are significant. Some of them are not at all. And actually, in one case, there's prices going down.
Oh, really?
So they're more varied than we anticipated.
Interesting.
Medigap plans are pretty steady. They do go through percentage increases each year, ranging from about 4% to 11%, depending on the carrier you're with. The Medicare Advantage plans can be kind of all over the board. The prescription drug plans, we're seeing wild, crazy changes from $20 a month to $51 a month. Okay. So it's a little bit hit and miss, but each carrier is going through their own calculations and figuring out how to afford.
Yeah, because last month, I don't know if everybody had released all their rates.
Right, it was before the October 1st. The big secret got opened up on October 1st.
Wow.
That's when we first get access to the new rates for the next year.
So here we are, October 19th. So you've had a chance to peruse all that and try to assimilate all that information. It must be encyclopedic.
Well, fortunately, we've got incredible software that helps us a great deal and has saved us a lot of time and does a lot of the work for us to shortcut our time with our clients. And so those meetings become more and more efficient. So we're respecting their time too. Right. And, in just kind of reviewing some of the points for today's discussion, some of the points we talked about last month, so there'll be a little bit of a repeat on that, but that's okay. It's good to get reminders. But as you were saying, the annual reviews matter. Medicare is not a set it and forget it experience. It does change every year. For those people who say to me too often, okay, I'm good. Do not confuse me with any changes. I'm good. That's great that you're good this year. That does not mean you're good for next year. And I wish more and more people would understand that, because they are surprised when they finally relent and they meet with us and they go, oh my God, I had no idea of what the differences could be.
Right.
And some people are in a really great plan this year and they're saying, you know what, I'm fine. Just stick with that for next year. But we look at their medication changes or their physician changes that they might be having, and that's enough to throw the numbers off in a different direction. And they just don't anticipate that. And so we have to be a little proactive and say, I think we need to sit down and talk about this and look at what the options are. So,
and their health situation may change in that
from year to year.
You're right, because if you look at your health and say, well, this plan will work for me now,
right?
But all of a sudden you have things happen over the next year. It may be very wise to look and consider, because open enrollment allows you to really rethink things through.
Absolutely. But it ends December 7th.
Right.
It's a very firm guillotine.
Right. And which is, again, why it's so important to have someone help navigate and ask the questions that people don't typically think about. So,
Right. And one of the things that happens very often is a client will say to us, I really like this carrier. They've got great ads. I love their ads.
Oh, no.
It's like, great.
No.
This is not how to pick a Medicare plan.
They don't pick it with
Please don't
ads.
do that. And look, TV advertising, very effective.
It's been powerful.
And people are getting drowned in the amount of mail that they're getting and things like that. It makes great wallpaper, by the way. Really interesting collage. But you can't fall for the advertising. Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to. Because when you do that, or even when you just throw a dart and just say, I'm going to go with this one, too often people are really disappointed with that decision, and then they can't fix it until the following year.
Right. Yeah, and you're stuck with it for a year.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for a short break, everyone. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance agency. And we're talking today about the importance of participating in an annual review during the Medicare open enrollment period from October 15th through December 7th for current Medicare clients. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Hageland, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Peace of mind shouldn't cost a fortune. We keep things simple at Schroman Law because we believe planning for your estate and end-of-life care shouldn't be stressful or expensive. Every client relationship starts with a free consultation so clients have the information they need before making important decisions. From there, we work closely with clients to ensure they are choosing the most efficient and cost-effective plans for their specific needs. Schedule a free consultation today at schromenlaw.com. That's SCHROMEN law.com.
At Better Futures Minnesota, we support Minnesota's environment by working towards zero waste and the transformation of the lives of men in our workforce development model. Better Futures Minnesota engages men with histories of incarceration and homelessness. Our approach reaffirms each man's dignity, instilling self-discipline and behaviors that empower them to achieve self-sufficiency and a better future. We set hard-to-employ men on a pathway to independence through employment in our reuse retail warehouse and work crews specializing in building deconstruction, property maintenance, appliance recycling, and janitorial services. We strive to create a sustainable future where social equity, economic opportunity, and environmental justice intersect. By addressing these interconnected challenges, Better Futures Minnesota works towards building resilient, healthy communities for all Minnesotans. We believe that true sustainability can only be achieved when all members of our community can thrive. Join us in making a difference. Visit us at betterfuturesminnesota.com and donate today.
Step into a world of financial empowerment with the Do Different Better show. I'll be your host, Elaine Rasmussen. Join me Sundays at noon on AM 950 as we do a deep dive into wealth education with topics like investing, real estate, and entrepreneurship. No nonsense, tell it like it is, keeping it 100 for everyday people like you. Tune in to get practical insights to rewrite your financial future. So each Sunday at noon, let's do different better. You can hear Do Different Better anytime on your favorite app. Learn more about me at socialimpactnow.com.
Hi, Jim of Better Futures Minnesota here. Does your business or organization need janitorial services, lawn care, or snow removal? Obtain a free, no-obligation estimate from Better Futures Minnesota when you let us know that you heard about us on AM 950. Our supervised, hardworking, and affordable crews will handle your interior and exterior building and property maintenance needs while you help men in the community transform their lives and walk on a positive path to success. It's a win-win. To learn more, go to betterfuturesminnesota.com under Business Services.
Overwhelmed trying to make sense of Medicare? As a licensed advisor, I can help you determine your healthcare needs and evaluate your options. I'm Harvey Pearl of Pearl & Company, and I want you to have the peace of mind knowing you have the best coverage available. You deserve an advocate you can trust and coverage you can rely on. And there's no fee, ever. Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Call me now at 651-303-8889 so we can strategize together.
There you are. right, welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Hageland, and joining me today is Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance agency. And Harvey's a licensed insurance agent with life and health for all ages, along with accident and travel insurance in the state of Minnesota. And he's also certified with several brands of Medicare carriers, which is why it's so important that he's here today during the open enrollment period. And today we are talking about the importance of participating in an annual review with somebody like Harvey during the Medicare open enrollment period from October 15th through December 7th for current Medicare clients. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. Harvey, how can our listeners contact your organization and you if they have questions or want more information?
Well, thanks for asking. It's 651-303-8889. And, you know, one of the things I like to share with people, or at least our clients tell us, is that they never feel like a number when they work with a broker that gets to know you. Because when you call 1-800-Let'sIgnoreYou.com, you get the person of the moment. And all they want to do is sell you something. We don't want to sell you anything. We want to empower you with knowledge. We want to make sure that wise clients make good decisions. And so we spend a lot of time teaching people how it all works and how it all works for them. And then the answers kind of reveal themselves. And then we help do the enrollment and things like that.
Well, I think you mentioned last show that it's about a relationship. You have to have a trusting relationship.
Totally.
Because they need to share with you information that is personal.
Sure. There's a lot of intimate detail that goes into this. And anything that people share with us is held confidentially.
Right. Absolutely.
Confidentially. And with my nursing home administrator background, I have a little bit more deeper insight than most.
You're HIPAA trained,
And we're HIPAA trained, yes. But there's a lot of confiding that goes in, and we appreciate that. We're certainly complimented by that. But it's when we learn those things that we're able to protect our clients best.
Yes.
So that when they're teased with, but my friend said, he's got a great plan. That's great. It's a good plan for your friend. Doesn't mean it's a good plan for you. Why? Well, in one case, our client said, I want to change to his plan. Well, that's great, but you have cancer. That plan's not going to do it for you.
Right.
You need to stay where you're at. And here's why we chose the one we chose. And it's okay that people get a refresher. That's perfectly fine. That's what we're here to do, is to get to know you, get to understand your nuances, your cash flow, your family relationships, your whatever other details we get to learn about you over time. Right. And one of the things I want to take a moment, and this is really, really critical to me. I am so lucky beyond words to be able to work with the people I get to work with. And I am constantly sharing my appreciation with them ad nauseum, I'm sure, to their rolling their eyes all the time. But I want to take this public opportunity to say we've got an A game of team together. And Rafael Quintero, Eric Benzer, Jennifer Fontaneros we're all in it together, and we're all bringing our best game to every day, and we're there to back each other up. Yeah. And so when you're working with a team like that of people who really care about what they're doing and what they're doing for you, you've got the best set of advocates to back you up. And I hope that if anyone listening today feels that they have a need, give us a try and try out the experience.
And there's no cost to call.
There is absolutely no cost ever.
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
ever at all.
Ever.
So how do we get paid? We get paid a commission when a policy is written, but it's important to know that we are not incentivized ever from one plan or carrier to another. So if one premium is higher and one premium is lower, and we're saying go with a higher premium, it's not because we get more money out of it. We don't. We get paid what we get paid. What we're looking at is what is best for you. We are your advocate. We're your fiduciary, much like a financial advisor. And that is the way it should work.
Well, and what's nice too is you live here in St. Paul. Your agency's in St. Paul, and you're here. You're part of the
My car even goes to Minneapolis.
Well,
it's
there
really,
you go.
we've got the passport in the glove compartment,
right.
always ready.
You've got clients all over the state
Yes,
of Minnesota
we do.
and outside of Minnesota.
And outside of Minnesota. We're now
But I
licensed
think-
in 5 states.
Yeah, but I think it's important as things get so roboted and I mean, just it seems like, call 1-800, ignore me type thing.
Right.
I don't know why people would even consider doing that when, again, you can get your service for free.
Right.
I mean, as someone who cares and who and I know you over the years, you really want to develop a lifelong relationship
Absolutely.
with your clients.
Absolutely. And, that is the big difference. I don't have the advertising budget that some of the carriers have to advertise on TV. Someday, maybe. Love to do it. But until then, we're really very honored. Most of our leads come from our existing clients,
right.
which is really a huge compliment.
Yep.
But I don't want to miss an opportunity to also
go
just
ahead.
touch on some of the changes that are coming in 2025, because I think this is just important for our listeners to hear. You may have seen some articles in the newspaper that some of the health systems are going to stop accepting certain Medicare Advantage plans, and panic sets in. And so our Medigap clients are calling us saying, wait a minute, what does this mean? I can't go and see my doctor at the health system that they go to. No, you're fine. Medigap clients can see any provider that accepts Medicare. That's the running line. But if you have gotten notification that your health system is not going to accept your Medicare Advantage plan, that's fine. Don't panic. Give us a call. We'll find another alternative for you. But it's good to know this, because if you stick with the plan and if you don't get a review and you don't know that your health system and Medicare Advantage are not going to play together, that's going to bite you somewhere down the road and when it's too late to make a change.
Right.
So it's important to know that. Mayo Clinic, it's a Minnesota standard. Is Mayo Clinic going to be in or out of network? Medicare Advantage, you can change from year to year. We just don't know. Medigap, it's always available to us. The Inflation Reduction Act is bringing the $2,000 cap on our medications for in-network medications. Donut Hole is gone for 2025.
Right.
And the bottom line is more details are available when you give us a call at
All right.
651-303-8889.
All right, it's time for a short break, everyone. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance agency. And we are talking about how important it is to get your annual review during the Medicare open enrollment period, which is going on right now. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Hageland, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Hey, it's Patrick. We're headed into the Halloween season, and maybe you're thinking about having a Halloween party at your house later this month, but your carpet looks like something right out of a horror movie. But it's easy for you to make a good decision. Unlike a character in a horror movie, just call My Cleaning Heroes at Zero Res. They'll take care of all those carpet terrors like pet messes, spills, and stains. Right now, you can get your entire home zero-resified from Minnesota's ultimate carpet cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet starting at $129 and take $75 off to get all that scary stuff out of your air ducts as well. Don't let missing this deal haunt you. Call my friends at Zero Res today for 3 rooms starting at $129 and $75 off an air duct cleaning. Book your appointment today by calling 952-ZERO-RES or going to ZeroResMinnesota.com and asking for the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, weekdays at 5 p.m. On our show, you'll hear about Native issues like treaties, protecting Mother Earth, and holding our elected officials accountable. Weekly correspondents like Dr. Stately, State Senator Mary Kunesh, Robert Lilligren, and Bob Blake update us with the latest news from Turtle Island. Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Listen weekdays at 5 p.m. or watch the show on Native Roots Radio social media accounts. Ho-wah!
Fall means back to school, and hands down the best vehicle for the family is the Toyota Sienna from Rudy Luther Toyota. It hauls everything in comfort. Lots of kids? Check. Mountains of sports gear? Check. A band's worth of musical instruments? Check. Multiple science projects and schoolwork? Check. And the Sienna Hybrid gets you fantastic mileage, and it's the safest vehicle I've ever driven, something I will brag about for the rest of my life. The Toyota Sienna is the perfect Minnesota family vehicle. Test drive one today at Rudy Luther Toyota, 5 miles west of Minneapolis on 394.
End-of-life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. We have families waiting for a car. You know, over 85% of unemployed are successful in finding and keeping a job if they have dependable transportation. A car plus a job equals a life changed. 612-919-5526. We have families waiting for a car. 919-5526 or autotech.org.
From the AM 950 Weather Center, I'm Tom Winston. Today we've got a chance of afternoon showers and a high of 66 degrees. Tonight, the sky's clear and we'll be seeing a low of 52. And for Sunday, back to sunny and warm, high 81. Gruner's Supper Club is an exciting mix of shows all year long. And before or after your show, check out the new Maggie's Lounge. It's a perfect spot to visit with friends. Gruner's Supper Club, a little bit of old school nightlife in the 21st century.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Hageland, and joining me today is Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance agency. I've had Harvey on the show for years now to remind people how important it is to participate with him or any agent, but especially him, because he's so passionate about making sure you get the right Medicare coverage. And it's so important right now because we are in the open enrollment period from October 15th through December 7th for current Medicare clients. All right, before we return to our conversation with Harvey Pearl, I want to mention this radio show is brought to you in part each week by Minnesota Hospice. Minnesota Hospice is an independent, locally owned medical practice serving our Twin Cities communities with comprehensive end-of-life health care. The team at Minnesota Hospice provides patients and family members with award-winning end-of-life healthcare services. You may not be aware that hospice brings compassionate medical, social, emotional, and spiritual services right to your home with typically no cost to you or your family. Please do not wait to learn how hospice care can benefit you and your loved ones. If you have any questions regarding end-of-life care or support, please contact the compassionate team of experts at Minnesota Hospice. They are available to answer your questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by a registered nurse. Their phone number is 952-898-1022. Once again, 952-898-1022, or simply visit them online at minnesotahospice.com. All right, let's return to our conversation with Harvey Pearl. If you have a question, again, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. Harvey, how can our listeners get a hold of you and your team if they have questions or want more information?
Thank you. It's 651-303-8889, and we like to remind people we don't have voicemail. Only human beings answer our phones, and people are always kind of shocked by that. But we take a lot of pride in that because we want our clients to feel heard. And one of the experiences that I think is really important to remind people is that we're there all year round. And we remind people, as life happens, pick up the phone, give us a call, let us know life just happened. What do I do now? That's the role, or a role, one of the many roles that a broker provides you, is ongoing connection. We want to be there and navigate through your life as you're navigating through it, so that as things are changing, it's okay to have someone to call and say, just remind me, what am I supposed to do with this information? That's fine. It doesn't cost anything. We want you to call.
Right.
So,
what's also interesting is I was talking to a couple this week, and they get so much mail. They're retired, but they get so much mail sent to them about carriers and programs and all this kind of stuff. And even though they have a Medicare agent, they were confused. Why do they get all this information? And I said, well, they're just trying to shift your business.
That's right.
And I said, so nothing wrong with that. It's a waste of trees, unfortunately. But I said, that's why you got to be working with your agent, because they're the ones that knows you the best. These mass marketing campaigns, they have no idea other than your agent, your age, and your location and your address.
So let me share an analogy I just shared with a few clients recently. Yeah. You were talking about trees. They were saying, but I want the dental program. And I said, well, that's great. That's a tree. There's a dental tree. There's a vision tree. And there's a hearing tree and the other things. So when you shake the dental tree, this is all the dental benefits come to you. And you shake the vision tree. And that's all great. But you're not looking at the forest.
Right.
Stand back. What's the total cost impact? You may get these benefits, but where are you going to pay for it somewhere else? And so we're trying to help people look at things a little bit more globally, a little bit more macro, and look at the whole forest and not get caught in the advertising teasing of, but it's got this. That's great. Let's look at the other things.
Right.
And, we were talking during the break about letting experts do what they do. I am not a brain surgeon. I am not going to go there. It's just, I am happy to delegate that one. You are in the hospice industry, not my specialty. I know who to go to if that need arises. This is what we do. We translate Medicare into English, and it's okay to no one will think less of you if you relent.
Right.
I may have shared on a previous show. I saw a billboard once. It said, when DIY equals OMG, you've got a problem. And so don't be a DIYer. It's okay.
Right. Well, but see, DIYers usually do it because they're interested in something, but they want to save money.
Well, of course.
And so no sense doing DIY here because you don't save any money by doing it yourself.
And if you go to the companies directly, if you go to the carriers directly, it still doesn't cost you anything. And it's not like there's a price difference on working with a broker versus working directly.
That's a great point, because a couple was asking me about that. Well, does it cost more to go through a licensed agent? I said, no.
Absolutely.
Actually, you're going to save probably money, not only on the plan design, but also when you actually use the plan. If the agent's thinking through working with you about what your situation is, the whole goal there is to preserve cash flow. It's to preserve, give you great care, but again, be careful about how you have to pay for things that you may not need.
Right. And these are some of the sensitivities that we take into awareness. Mm-hmm. It's also important for our listeners to know that we have to be compliant with Medicare ruling all the time. And a lot of the Medicare rulings, rightfully so, are consumer advocacy rules. And one of them is you have to call us first to talk about Medicare. We cannot call you. So if you say to us, I've got a friend who needs your service, that's great. We're not playing hard to get, but here's our number. Have them call us, because we actually have to document who called who first in case we're audited by Medicare over an 11-year period. So it matters. And it looks a little bit backward, logic of, wait a minute, I'm giving you a recommendation. Why would you not want to call? It's not that I don't want to call them.
Right. I can't.
Right. And that's okay. I'm fine with that. I think that makes a lot of sense. We don't want people to feel hovered over. We're not here to proselytize them. We're just here to service. Right. I want to touch on a couple of quick things because they're current and they're relevant. Weight loss drugs. We all can sing the jingles of Ozempic and Jardiance and do the dance. And it's wonderful. And I got to tell you, from personal experience, I am on one of those medications, and it does work. My A1C for my diabetes took a nosedive, and I lost some weight. But the reason I was prescribed the medication is because of my diabetes. And the reason I'm bringing this up is Medicare will be addressing some of these medications if you are diagnosed with diabetes. They will not be covering the Medicare plans will not be covering the cost of these drugs if it's just for weight loss. And this is a big issue, and these are very costly medications. But we want to bring to the attention of our listening audience that this is kind of a new door that's opening up, and we're watching it all evolve in front of us. It's also good to know that Victoza, the generic to Victoza, is now available, which is making that more affordable. And I think it's called liraglutide. This is not an endorsement. I'm just reflecting changes in the marketplace. So this is a constant evolution. And I want to take a moment to comment on veterans. Veterans, thank you for your service. Thank you for your commitment to our country. We are who we are in the United States because of the sacrifices that you've made. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's good to know that the VA provides health services, but they don't offer health coverage necessarily. And there's a big difference. And so Medicare plans, whether they be a Medigap or a Medicare Advantage plan, can help support a VA program. Case-by-case basis, not going to spend a lot of detail on this right now, but we just want to bring to the attention of our veterans, work with a broker, work with us. Let's help find what supports the health services that you're getting from the VA, because you're entitled to more, and they can come with a zero cost, maybe even get a Part B premium reduction. And because your medications are pretty much typically provided by the VA. And by the way, you're getting great costs on your prescriptions, and I'm jealous and envious.
Yes.
But you deserve those lower costs.
That's right.
But that doesn't take, and if you go into a Medicare Advantage plan, as an example, that does not take away from any of the VA services that you're entitled to and that you've earned. And enough veterans do not realize that what they also have access to. So we just want to bring that to people's attention.
How does that play in with the TRICARE program?
TRICARE and CHAMP VA, it's a lot of nuance, it's a lot of detail, and it's a very carefully walked step. And so I don't want to make any general comments here, because it really is somewhat of a case-by-case basis. And we want to make sure that we're carefully crafting the support of a Medicare Advantage program in this example so that it doesn't screw up a CHAMP VA or a TRICARE for Life situation.
Got it.
So those are really important nuances. And, we're constantly hearing people's life experiences, what their family members have been through. We're now seeing more and more examples of the sandwich generation, of the people who are between the ages of their children on the lower end and their parents who are fortunately living into their 90s and beyond. And they're caught between the two. Medicare may not be ready for you. You may not be there yet, but you're there to advocate for mom and dad. Or your aunt and your uncle and your other family members. So it's okay for you to get involved and to help advocate for them by working with someone that provides a service like we do, so that we can help educate you and so that you can best advocate for them. And if you have a power of attorney, happy to work with you. If we want to involve mom and dad as often as possible, if they're available. We want everyone to participate to their fullest extent. With today's technology, we are really lucky. We've got choices now. We don't have to just meet in person anymore. We've got Zoom. Thank you, COVID, for teaching us this powerful technology. But as a result, we can meet with people all over the country. We are licensed in Arizona, Colorado, Georgia, and now Maryland. We've recently added, as well as Minnesota. And so we're able to work with people in various places. And it's really, really wonderful how remote we can be to offer advices like these.
And responsive. I mean, the fact that people have to fly in, they don't have to drive in. Again, it's just so nice to be able to just set up that call and that video call.
It'd be fairly spontaneous.
It's true. It's exactly right. So.
And by the way, we also work on telephone. Does anyone remember how to use that? Alexander Graham Bell had amazing foresight. But it's nice that we do have choices. So, and in person, we can come to you. You can come to our office in Mendota Heights. We want to make this as personable as possible. That's really what this comes down to. You are not a number. We know who you are. We want to know who you are. And the more you choose to share with us, you are always in control. You get to choose to share with us what you wish. You don't have to share with us what prescriptions you're on. You don't have to share with us what physicians you see. You don't have to share with us your health conditions. That's okay. But the more we learn from you, the more effective research we can do on your behalf. But you are always driving the bus. We will happily be the backseat driver, and we will point out that there's a pothole ahead. You have some choices, right side, left side, drive right through it, but you're driving the bus. So we want to make sure our clients always feel that way, that they're in control, because they are. And they're making the final decisions.
Yeah.
And then we have to follow your advice. We may disagree with what decision you make. We'll make our case known, and then we'll shut up and follow your direction.
But at least they have a chance to get feedback from you about suggestions and recommendations and other options. So that's so important. All right, it's time for a short break, everyone. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl & Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance agency. If you have a question for us, please give us a call. And if you have something that you want to bounce off Harvey, this is the time to do it. 952-946-6205 or text us 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Hageland, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Overwhelmed trying to make sense of Medicare? As a licensed advisor, I can help you determine your healthcare needs and evaluate your options. I'm Harvey Pearl of Pearl & Company, and I want you to have the peace of mind knowing you have the best coverage available. You deserve an advocate you can trust and coverage you can rely on. And there's no fee, ever. Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Find me at pearlsofwisdom.com. That's P-E-R-L-E-S of wisdom.com. So we can strategize together.
You have a loved one who is not receiving the care that they deserve at their current memory care facility. I'm Aiden Helene, Director of Community Relations here at the Welshire, and I meet with families every single day who are struggling with poor staffing, missed medications, poor personal cares, and an absence of engagement from consistent activities. 85% of our residents at the Welshire are coming from other memory care facilities that could not meet their care needs. Not all memory care is created equally. And if this is something your family is experiencing, I encourage you to come visit our community of well-being and see the Welshire difference, where we promise that your loved one will live with pride and dignity. The Welshire has 24/7 nursing, a robust activities team that provides activities 7 days a week. And when the diagnosis takes a 9-to-5 approach, so will we. Book a tour at welshiremn.com and see our community of well-being in action. That's welshiremn.com. Again, that's welshiremn.com.
I'm Rachel Schroman, owner of Schroman Law, and I believe you deserve information. Our firm offers free quarterly estate planning seminars at our office in St. Paul. At these seminars, you can learn the basics of estate planning from an attorney to help you determine which estate planning documents will meet your needs and goals in an efficient and cost-effective manner. You can learn more and register at our website, schromenlaw.com/events. That's SCHROMEN law.com/events.
Hi, I'm Mary T, inviting you to experience our integrative Mary T Health and Wellness Center, offering physical, occupational, speech, and lymphedema therapies. Experience our guided imagery, meditation, Tibetan medicine, dry needling, massage services, including cupping and oncology massage. Sign up for our free wellness screenings and learn more at marytwellness.com. All major health insurance providers are accepted. Come for therapy, experience wellness.
Hi, Penny here from Nightingale in Minneapolis. Exciting news. During the warmer months, we're extending our charm to the patio. Imagine savoring your favorite dishes outside, surrounded by the lively energy of South Minneapolis near 26th and Lindale. And guess what? Nightingale's patio is not just a dining space. It's also dog-friendly. Craft cocktails, curated wines, and half-price bottles of wine on Mondays are still part of the deal. Open daily 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. with a full menu until midnight. Join us at Nightingale, where good times and great flavors come together.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about your loved ones and how to improve yours and their quality of life. My name is Ken Hageland, and joining me today is Harvey Pearl, principal of Pearl and Company, a St. Paul, Minnesota-based insurance agency. And we're talking today about the importance of participating in an annual review during the Medicare. And it's not open enrollment, right? It's the
annual enrollment period.
Right.
Yes.
We're going to talk about terminology here in the last segment, but it's important to make sure that words mean things here. And so Harvey corrected me on the open enrollment versus annual enrollment, because open enrollment is next year.
That's right. So terminology matters. And one of the things that we'll spend time working with people is making sure we're all using the same words, meaning the same definitions.
Yes.
So annual enrollment period is October 15th through December 7th. The open enrollment period is January 1 through March 31. And that tends to apply mostly to Medicare Advantage clients. I call it the annual do-over. So that if you enroll in something and you're not sure you'll like it in the new year, you get to make a change somewhere in that first quarter. Or let's say you go forward with a plan and then all of a sudden on January 2, your medications change. And now the plan that you enrolled in the fall for 2025 no longer applies. You get a do-over. So we can move you into a different plan that now reflects where your current medications or your Medicare adjustments your medication adjustments are. So terminology matters. People use the word supplement. We want to make sure that they know that the word supplement in Medicare speak means Medigap plan. People don't necessarily realize all of that. So we'll spend some time on making sure that we're all speaking the same language. And, there's a number of misconceptions that are out there, and I want to touch on several of them. A very common one is if you're working and you are covered by an employer's health insurance group plan, and you're going to work past age 65, that's okay. Stay there. You can defer your Medicare to a later time. You do not have to enroll in Medicare. You do not have to enroll in Part A. And as it affects a health savings account, which we can get into details on a one-to-one basis, you actually want to defer your Part A if you're still making health savings account contributions. So just because you're working past age 65, there is no penalty if you don't apply for Medicare.
It applies to Part D as well, drugs, or not?
Yes, it applies to all Medicare parts.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Medicare is individualized. There is no family plan.
Yes.
That's a really important point. So in a married couple, it's not uncommon for people to have two different plans because they each have their own medications, their own medical histories, their own doctors. That's okay. Your Medicare Advantage plans are really very similar to what we've known health insurance to be for years. There are copays, there's coinsurance, there's a network of doctors. You build things up to a maximum out of pocket. Medicare Advantage is pretty much very familiar to what we've been used to. It may apply to you in your Medicare years. It may not apply in your Medicare years. So there's no assumption of let's just kind of continue along there. One of the other important things, and we're spending more and more time talking with our clients about this, is always get into the habit of asking if your doctor accepts Medicare. So when you call the desk clerk to make an appointment and say, does my doctor accept Medicare? And they respond, yeah, our health system, we all accept Medicare. That's great. Do not back down. Ask specifically, does my doctor accept Medicare? Because doctors can choose to not accept Medicare.
Within the same clinic. Yeah,
Within the same clinic.
Right,
yeah, because they want to get paid more than what Medicare will be paying because Medicare pays reduced prices. So not only do you have to ask that question and get that answer, write down the name of the desk clerk who tells you this, because if in fact the doctor does not accept Medicare and you don't know that, that bill is yours. 100% with no do-overs, no appeals, and no I didn't knows and no mother may I's. So, but now I've also learned through a recent procedure that I just had a few weeks ago, I was in a room with 6 healthcare professionals. Luckily, I had the table, so I knew there was room for me. But what I came to realize is that I need to not only ask, does my doctor accept Medicare, but does the anesthesiologist and does the pharmacy tech and the whatever other professional is in that room for that procedure, do they each one of them, do they accept Medicare? Because if the anesthesiologist doesn't, you're going to get a bill. Surprise. We want to avoid those surprises. So it's really important that we don't throw a dart. This is not something to take a guess at. Making the wrong decision can be really, really costly. We focus on doing the education. We want you to be making smart decisions. So it's not about selling you anything. That's the last step.
Right.
And actually, we're not even selling. We're just following your direction.
Well, you're educating.
Exactly.
Right. Raising awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been in sales for over 30 years. And I always told my team, do not sell, teach, do not sell. And that matters. And people love that because they really feel capable. And that's what we want them to feel. One of the other things to touch on quickly, we were talking earlier about long-term care plans, and this is a new area of concern because now 8 states in the nation are charging a payroll tax that comes up at annual income tax time. If you don't have a long-term care plan, you may be taxed to help supplement the Medicaid medical assistance plans because as the baby boomers age into Medicare and later times of life, Medicaid is going to be really challenged to pay after all your resources are spent. But if you have a long-term care plan that helps offset some of those costs, you will be waived from that tax. Minnesota is negotiating that at this time, as I understand it. So we may be on that list of states.
Wow, 8 states already
have passed this, to my knowledge.
Yeah. Okay.
And so this is another conversation that we can have to plan for your future. It's all about estate planning. It's about enjoying your life and giving you a great night's sleep so that you know that you've made good decisions for this year.
Right.
Next year, we're going to try to make sure that you have good sleep then as well.
And you need a good advocate.
Well, that's our plan. Yes. And so I'm inviting you all to call the A-team.
Yes.
I'm being as immodest as possible, but we are Pearl & Company. We're at 651-303-8889. Humans will answer the phone. If we can't, we have fabulous receptionists, and we always return a phone call.
All right. Harvey, thank you so much for being here again.
Thank you for having me back. It's always good to see you.
It's just great to have you here. All right. We hope you enjoyed today's show, folks. Please contact us with any questions or comments you have regarding today's conversation. You can reach us anytime by voice or text at 612-999-3426. Join us again next Saturday at noon for another broadcast, and thank you for listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about your health and your life. Until next time, choose to live well.
I've been waiting such a